In an era where grand narratives wove the perception of the world, Jean-François Lyotard, with almost surgical precision, began to question their hegemony. Imagine, for a moment, destroying a treasure map that has always guided explorers to their prized riches. This is what Lyotard did with the certainties that narrate who we are and where we are going. Lyotard pointed out that these magnanimous stories, which told us about progress, emancipation, and absolute truth, were neither universal nor impartial. Although they were narratives that instilled purpose, they also ignored individual voices and nuances. Under his daring gaze, Lyotard pushed us to doubt, to reconsider blindly following a single narrative, prompting us to discover the small and diverse personal stories that exist everywhere. Lyotard saw knowledge not as an immense ocean of shared wisdom, but rather as a scattered archipelago of specific and local knowledges. By challenging totalizing narratives, he highlighted what he called the postmodern condition. Here is where knowledge was deterritorialized, rejecting the idea of a single story capable of encompassing human experience in its entirety. For Lyotard, that notion of a unique truth was a dangerous illusion, as it deprived us of the riches of fragmentary knowledge, impossible to contain in a single narrative. Each island, each small story, offers its own perspective and value. Breaking free from the chains of monolithic thought that had forced us to see the world in a predetermined way, like an epic tale written by a few. The grand narratives sought to order chaos, but Lyotard taught us to embrace diversity and the elusive. In the postmodern condition, power is no longer in those who control the grand story, but in those who seek and value the small plots that make up the tapestry of human reality. This notion of knowledge fragmentation not only illuminates the variety of human experiences, but also opens the door to an endless array of possibilities. By rejecting the uniformity of thought, we accept a richer and more authentic world, where small stories, once ignored, take center stage. The impact of Lyotard lies in his provocation to detach from the established, to immerse in the unexpected, and to enjoy the chaos of fragmentation. Let's imagine that each story, each small narrative, is like a kaleidoscope reflecting the diversity of human experience. Lyotard challenged us to look through these fragments, and what we find can be as disturbing as it is fascinating. The end of grand narratives not only tests our openness to change, but also redefines power. A power that no longer resides in those who impose a unique narrative, but in those who listen to the scattered stories, recognizing their intrinsic value. Faced with this revelation, the task is clear. Learn to listen, to question, to live in the uncertainty that accompanies the postmodern. It is a journey into the unexpected, moving between the known and the unknown, and discovering that in the midst of chaos there is an inherent order, a map drawn with multiple voices and shared stories.